Welcome back, future CTET qualified teachers. Whether you're preparing for Paper 1 or Paper 2, you will be well aware that there are 3 core sections which is common to both Paper 1 and Paper 2, which is CDP, your Language 1 L1 and L2. This is video 3 in our series of cracking the CTET language section. In the first 2 videos, I've covered 1. How to strategically choose your L1 and L2 and the basic structure of the language paper. Today, we'll dive into the comprehension part of the language section. And I'll walk you through what to expect, how it's structured, and actionable tips so that you can prepare to crack it in your first attempt. I am Dr. Swasti Dhar and I mentor trainee teachers and teachers to crack the CTET in their first attempt. With my self-paced courses and 3 months of interactive sessions with you, I have helped countless students achieve their CTET dream effortlessly. So let's get started. To recap from video 2, each language section is of 30 marks, 1 mark each, no negative marking, and it comprises 2 sections, comprehension and pedagogy. 15 marks is of comprehension, 15 marks is for pedagogy. Now the pedagogy for both L1 and L2 are the same, and I will be looking into that in video 5 of the series. But for the comprehension section, this is how it's structured. L1 will have 1 unseen prose passage and 1 unseen poetry passage, whereas L2 will have 2 unseen prose passages. No poetry in L2. There are roughly about 8 to 9 questions on each passage. So 8 plus 7 combination or a 9 and 6 combination. The combinations vary, but questions number 91 to 105, that is the first section, that is your comprehension section. Now grammar is included within this comprehension section. There's no separate grammar section, and I will do an entire video, the next video, on the grammar and how much of grammar you should study. But the moot point to remember is that it is within these first 15 questions where you will have passage-based grammar questions, and that is why I keep saying that don't jump into grammar, don't keep studying too much of grammar. So a strong grasp of grammar is required. But what is more important is to focus on your comprehension skills. Let's dive into the comprehension section, and I'm going to be taking you through the July 2024 CTET paper, and I'm taking the paper 1 as an example out here. I'm taking English as language 1 and Hindi as language 2. Of course, you could have chosen between either of them. So note that you will have part 4 written language. This is English. This is a passage which comes up, and starting from here, here's question number 93. This underlined phrase means. So this is grammar based, you can say. Here's another meaning, gradually. So this is grammar. Here is grammar. You're asking whether it's a pronoun, preposition, conjunction. So you have questions from 91 to 99, which is 9 questions, and 4 questions are grammar based. So that's 4 questions from passage 1. Let's move on to the poetry. So this is a poetry, and 100 to 105, that is 6 questions have been asked on poetry, and let us see which one is a grammar question. And literally only 1 question is a grammar question, where the literary device, whether it's a simile or a metaphor, figure of speech, has been asked. So totally out of the 2 passages, 15 questions, 6 out of 15 questions are your grammar questions. Moving on to Hindi as your language 1. See, we are still in part 4. So this is your Bhasha 8. You have a prose, and here too, अर्थ पूछा गया है, प्रत्यय पूछा गया है, विशेषण विशेष्य का उदाहरण पूछा गया है. So this is grammar, this is grammar, this is grammar, and this is also अर्थ. So you can call this grammar. So 3 to 4 questions from the prose is grammar based. Here is the कविता, नीचे दी गई कविता को पढ़कर प्रश्न का उत्तर दीजिए. So 100 to 105. Again, 6 questions. Let me see what is a grammar based question. So question asked about Sandhi Vichhed. So this is a grammar question. And question 105 is Veer ka bahuvachan roop. So bahuvachan. So this will be a grammar question. So 2. So totally 3 plus 2, which is 5 questions are from grammar. So here we're looking at language 2. This is English if you have taken that as language 2. Here is a passage, and let's see what are the questions which could be a grammar question. So here a meaning has been asked, so I can consider this a grammar question. Here your parts of speech has been asked. This is a grammar question. And again a clause has been asked, and this is a grammar question. This is the second passage. So L2 will have 2 passages. You have meaning which is asked, opposite in meaning. So an antonym has been asked. This is a grammar question. Nearest in meaning. So synonyms and antonyms. This is another grammar question. Parts of speech being asked. So this is a grammar question. And from question 136, we have the pedagogy which starts. So we have 3 grammar questions in this passage. And in the previous passage, again, we had 3. So 3 plus 3, 6 grammar questions. Similarly, if you move on to Hindi, if that is what you have taken as language 2, then this is your first passage. यहाँ पे संज्ञा पूछा गया है, कौन सी संज्ञा है, ये ग्रामर से आया है. यहाँ पे आपके तत्सम तद्भव शब्द पूछे गए हैं, तो ये आपका ग्रामर से आया है. और यहाँ पे आपकी संधि पूछी गई है, मूल शब्द तथा प्रत्यय पूछा गया है, तो ये आपका ग्रामर है. तो यहाँ से आपके 3 grammar के questions आए. The next passage is also a small one. Let's see what are the grammar questions.
निम्न में से विशेषण है, तो विशेषण पूछा गया है, ये आपका ग्रामर क्वेश्चन है। समूह से भिन्न शब्द, आई एम नॉट श्योर इफ यू कैन पुट इट एज अ ग्रामर क्वेश्चन, बट लेट्स कीप इट एट दैट। प्रपंच का तात्पर्य, तो आपसे पूछा गया है मीनिंग, तो मीनिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में ही ज्यादा आएगा, ग्रामर में तो नहीं आएगा, पर फिर भी उसी को रखते हैं। और यहाँ पे आपको प्रत्यय पूछा गया है, तो ग्रामर। अगेन 4 क्वेश्चंस आए हैं, so 3 plus 4 is your 7 questions. Similarly, from question 136, we start with the pedagogy.
So as you could see, whether it is L1 or L2, you have around 6 to 7 marks of grammar within the comprehension section. So roughly 30% is grammar out of 15 if you consider comprehension. But if you take the entire section out of 30 marks, then 6 out of 30, 1/5 is only grammar. So that's why I keep saying you need strategy. Don't keep focusing on grammar so much. Comprehension is also equally important. So here are some key tips to excel in the comprehension section. I've divided this into 2 parts. One is what you should do while you're preparing, and one is what you will do on the day of the exam while attempting the question paper. So the preparation part, for which you have 3 or 4 months, hopefully, you need to strengthen your language proficiency. You have to be good in 2 languages, be able to understand basic words, and you should take time to read unseen passages, newspapers, articles, magazines, books of a good level so that you can improve your comprehension. I've seen many students try to just hear Hindi as if hearing is enough. No, reading and comprehending is a different skill altogether. So read and understand and become proficient in 2 languages which you have chosen for your CTET. And the second is don't overemphasize grammar. As you have seen, only 6 to 7 out of the 30 marks comes from grammar, and most of the focus is on antonyms and synonyms. So you should be focusing on your comprehension skills more. And on the day of the exam, when you're actually attempting the paper, the first thing that you should do is locate part 4 and part 5 correctly. Remember, questions 91 to 120 is your L1 and 121 to 150 is your L2. So ensure that you are attempting the correct language. Believe me, you are laughing now, but many students make that mistake where they just continue after English onto Hindi and they attempt the Hindi L1 as their Hindi L2. I've seen it happen so many times. So ensure that you are attempting the correct L1 and L2. And the next thing which I would tell you is to manage your time. And for that, preparing and practicing is very, very important. The comprehension section is not just about reading, it is about understanding and applying your knowledge of language and grammar. By building a strong foundation in both L1 and L2, you can maximize your score in this section. In the next video, I'll dive deep into how much of grammar needs to be done for both L1 and L2 and the key topics that you must prepare for. Meanwhile, join my free WhatsApp community, the CTET preparation group, and follow me on Instagram at Learn with Swasti for daily tips and strategies. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you are updated about videos in the future. Let's crack the CTET together.